Welcome to Tribal Sports Radio. Let's go. This is a fun evolution here of what we got cooking inside of the tribal universe. We want to start things off this week. I got to shout out a couple of athletes who have had some big time finish lines and events lately. Let's go. All right. I think you have to comment first. There you go. That's the unlock. Invite to stream. There we go. An invite has been sent out to join the stream. Who will it be? Who will it be? Will it be the tribal athlete who just completed their first Ironman this week? We shall see. Shout out to C Boys. We've got a couple of athletes here. Hey! One thing I love about you, C Boys, is that you have always been very clear. Like, yeah, you're interested in a lot of endurance, but there's one pinnacle of endurance.
I've said that, and I don't mean to. I know my trail runners and ultra trail runners out there. I respect you guys more than you know, but for me, it's always been the Ironman. And here we are. And,
Here we are, man. Congratulations. Ironman Ottawa. Decided on, prepared for, committed to, completed.
yeah, super stoked. Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan. Thank you to Jordan and Ryan. Boys, couldn't have done it without you. Um, that was such a wild trip, guys, and I know Dalton, I've seen Parker, Beck. I know those guys have done these before, but for me, man, that was such a trip. One of the best days of my life. One of the worst and best days of my life, in the best way possible. So, thank you.
What moments have been sitting with you since the race?
How mental that race is. How mental, like literally, it's a mental game. I always thought it was just physical. No, man, what a mental battle. Um, It really is. Some folks, they were vomiting in T1 before, and I was like, "Are they sick?" And they having there was panic attacks in the water. One lady almost drowned. They had to pull her out. Sorry, my head's just spinning. I just walked around T1 listening to Allman Brothers for like an hour, just trying to chill. And no, it started with a mental game and it ended with a pure physical game to get that last half marathon done. And it was
The back half of the Ironman marathon is just such a special place, man. It's such a special place.
Yeah, it is, and, it was pouring rain. It was
Oh,
just
yeah?
pouring, and people were beating themselves up, and I was trying to spin it as a divine intervention because I like the cold, and so I just kinda spun it that way, and some people were really down, so I was just trying to joke with them, but no, man, what a trip, and what an awesome day, and crossing that finish line, man, and having your kids there's nothing like it. I don't care what you say.
The red carpet, man.
That was the best, and, it was so cool. So again, thank you guys, and that meant a lot crossing that line. I was teary eyed.
Yeah, man. No, well done by you. Um, what did you enjoy most about the day?
Certainly not the morning, getting up at 3 with nerves. Definitely, yeah, the end, the last half kilometer, so 0.25 mile kind of thing. I chilled and I took it all in downtown Ottawa. And as Jordan prepped me, this is a celebration of years of where I've been. What I was 3 years ago, this wasn't possible. This was impossible, truly. So this was a big, big thing for me.
You have any, like, athlete connections in the race? Anybody you were chatting with or spent some time with?
Yeah, I in the pain cave, the last 10K, I was walking for the couple firefighters from New Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And what an unle just chatting about stuff and just the mental thing, just chatting with him about he went to go see Rush at MSG, and we were chatting about Rush, and he's in Canada, and Canada questions and all this stuff. It was just cool to chat with those guys, and they were in the pain cave. We were there together, and I ended up saying, "Okay, I gotta go," but
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. Um,
Goldstein asking in the chat here, what was your biggest mental moment on the course?
pouring rain, Jordan, 10K to go in pain. telling myself, like we chatted about, that this was a celebration. And I know that might sound corny to some people, but like I didn't have to spin it that way. I just did, and I smiled. And some people weren't looking that way on their face, especially going back. They had like another 2 hours to go, and I only had whatever. It's just spinning that mentality. It was key.
You have any of those moments? Let's see here. We got more questions. Great job adding in the questions. If you guys have questions in the chat here, that's what the chat can be used for. Jason Parker, he goes, anything that stood out during the race that you'd warn or prepare somebody for the first Ironman. So Jason Parker is prepping for Ironman Wisconsin here in a couple of weeks.
Jason, yeah, dude. Race your own race. There were many times on the bike where it's like I can push harder, but I got to save for the run. And there were some other people, and I could see. Ryan has taught me about cadence, especially when you're going that far, to not blast your muscles with a 62 cadence. I saw some guys going by me with, I'm going to say, a 60-something cadence, and I said, I could keep up with you, but this is my own race, man. You go do you. I'm going to go do me. I'm not looking for a podium. I just want to do me. So that was a big something I had to remember.
Yeah, I mean the own race thing too. Inside of an Ironman, it's like it's such a long race that like you can't turn mile 20 on the bike into a race against another dude.
No.
And I remember for Ironman Chattanooga when I did that, their first 8, 10 miles were these like rollers coming in and out of town. And there was this dude on like a gravel bike with a camel pack on him, right? So just like a super different intention on how to execute an Ironman than the way that I'm looking out there, right? And on every climb, this guy would blow by me. And then on every descent, I'd blow by him. And this happened like 4 consecutive times. And then by mile 10, I never saw him again.
I saw a guy get in the water with swim trunks, like dad swim trunks on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You go do your race, brother.
Yeah. No, that's great though. That's great. What anything that you specifically impressed yourself with? Your ability, I mean, a big thing that we spoke on before the race was just like you basically taming your effort.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, you got out of the swim after it was an hour and a half. It was a decent.
And you hit that right on the number, right? You were 131.
Yep, yep. And I was happy, but you get out and you kind of go, oh shit, I guess still got a long day left, and you're already feeling it. So calories is amazing what they can do for you.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
sorry, I'm a little spaced.
You're not usually a calorie guy either.
No. Oh, so the biggest, no, I'm not, but man, what a difference. But getting off the bike, I said to myself, I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to possibly run a marathon. Anyways, I got out there. I walked for the first 2 minutes and I said, okay, let's just trot. And the big unlock for me was I went, holy shit, I can run
Yeah.
until the last 10K. But
Yeah, I remember in my first Ironman, I felt so bad. I told you, I gave you this example of I was doing like these surges. I had seen for the listeners, I had seen right before my first Ironman, I had seen this story from Sam Long on how in World 70.3 he was like behind the lead group of bikers and he did like these repeated power surges and held like 40 miles an hour for the last 10 miles. And so I heard that like right before my first Ironman. I'm like, oh, well, if I need to like, maybe feel better or just go faster, I'll just surge. And so literally the last 12 miles of my first Ironman, I'm going, I didn't have a power meter, but I would guess 400 watts. Then nothing. And I probably did this 10 times, literally just swiping matches.
yeah,
And I got off that bike and I felt so bad finishing the bike. But as soon as I started running, I was like, this is nuts. I feel so much better. It's like crazy how it can happen.
yeah, yeah. It is a different muscles, I guess, and, but I took it with, I'm not here to last time. So walk and feel good and run. It was a run walk, but I was
Yeah.
keeping a good pace. So
No, I thought it was it looked very well. Just well done across the board, dude. I was just impressed. You've been on a great health journey. You were upwards of like 50 pounds heavier a couple years ago, is that right?
couldn't run 2K.
Couldn't run 2K a couple of years ago. You got your weight trending down, got into like, running on your own and just being more consistent and then did a couple of races and then, got on more structured training towards like, the goals that demand that. And you had this vision a long time out Also really important to me, like I always just think about the health metrics that you had shared,
Mm.
like blood work tests, other like actual scientific data of your health that's improved drastically throughout
Yeah.
your 3-year health journey, not just like, oh, I couldn't run and now I can run. Um,
VO2. Yeah, went
yeah,
from
VO2 way up. And just like adding years to your life, man, adding longevity and
mm,
lifespan to just the way that you're experiencing life. So well done by you, dude. I'm very impressed.
thanks, boys.
All right, let's see who we got the next let's go with next segment here. I want to go with Mr. Jason Parker. Invite to the stream. See boys, thanks for joining. We will see
Yep.
you. Awesome. And we got an invite out here for Jason Parker. So this is one of the cool things. This is one of the really cool things that I'm excited about with this Tribal Sports Radio here and this feature with the Substack live stream is that we can have different people pop on for different segments. And this is every single time that we're looking to make progress or that we are making progress, we can come back to lower the bar, raise the execution. I love doing the athlete interviews, but I mean, sometimes we're doing a full hour interview. That's just kind of a lot to make happen all the time. And instead, now we got lower the bar, raise the execution 3 to 6 minute segment type of things, checking in on guys after races, in prep. And welcome to the show here, Mr. Jason Parker. Jason, we got to get into your own Ironman stuff. But first, dude, I got to say, I'm very impressed. I saw that you coached your wife to her first 10K over the weekend, and I'd say that to me, that's always a strong reflect. It's cool to see the guys cross the finish lines for themselves, right? But when you see people around them starting to get into it, whether it's Matt Banks' dad running the New York City Marathon, different people in your family getting interested in pushing themselves physically. I mean, nothing stronger than your own wife doing it. So bring us into the Parker household. What's been going on to bring that to life?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was such a great weekend, experiencing it. So my wife, was never really a runner or into it. And I'm not the type to like ever put pressure, like you need to go run, anything like that. Like I'm a big believer in any type of fitness, family members, all that. Like the way you get into it on your own is best. Because it ends up being more sustainable that way than like, force from an external pressure or something like that. Just
You
never
mean
works
it, you
out.
mean it's not successful for a husband to tell a wife that you need to go work out?
Breaking news, right?
I've
Never
made that mistake. I can from experience, I can confirm that does not work or actually do anything good.
Yeah. But so how it happened, she signed up for a 5K, with her, like, cousin's, wife, in-law, whatever that relationship is. Did a 5K basically kinda off the couch and enjoyed it, and then, the same cousin wanted to sign up for another 10K and a 5K. So it was about 10 weeks ago, she's like, "I wanna get serious about for the 10K, can you put together a plan for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." But yeah, she executed for 10 straight weeks, 3 runs a week, didn't miss a single one. It was so awesome. We went and got like new shoes, made it fun, something that makes you want to get out the door and use them. Um, but this was the third race I've done with like athletes I've coached, like the two of hers and then one of my other buddies. But coaching people live and being at the races is so much fun. Like
Yeah.
it's so close to the fulfillment of like running your own race too. Like I get so much like, hype and amped up the same way for, like, those races too. So, just a ton of fun and cool experience going to those.
That's a good framework that you guys had, 3 runs a week for 10 weeks and buy new shoes. Like, that is important. Like, you gotta be, getting some decent gear that's not only gonna make your training better, but, like, it's more fun. You get something cool that can kind of buy into that mindset and that identity. So, yeah, you always got the shoe kinda hookup. You're always spotting new shoe deals and values that I'm seeing online, so good on you.
Yeah, probably a little too deep into it, but it is what it is. It's fun.
No, it's good. And you got Ironman, Wisconsin, followed by back to back with Ironman Florida. You're 4 to 6 weeks ish out from Ironman Wisconsin, right? So, what's been clicking most for you? Like, maybe let's share like some sessions, like any specific workouts that you've been really liking across run or bike.
The big ones on run, have I think we've talked about this before, but setting specific pace
Yeah,
targets for the run instead of, like, just go run easy or, like, a RP7 run, but, I've made so much noticeable progress sticking because it ends up pushing myself more and
yeah,
not taking the easy way out to just kinda, like, trot through the training runs. So that's been
yeah,
awesome. Um, sessions on the bike, in the middle of that threshold build that you have set up for me, those are tough as hell, but fun.
Yeah.
So challenging, but I get so much out of those.
And we have you going through a little progression right now where it was like generally like what 4 by 3 minutes one week, then 4 by 4, then five, like kind of the stair stepper across the
Yep.
duration of the interval as well as then the number of intervals.
Yep, exactly. So week to week, it's like, man, I gotta add a minute next week to each of these, and
Yeah.
definitely a mental game on top of that.
Yeah, and that would be a good like that's kind of like, for somebody who might just be like a runner or maybe they're just riding and they don't really have like the power data or their rides are just kind of like whatever. Like that power progression is almost like you can map it to like the way that you'd think about like run intervals. So if somebody was going to do like, a run set where it's like, hey, 4 by 3 minutes at like 8 minute pace, it's like, well, then you do 4 by 4 minutes at 8 minute pace, assuming that 8 minute pace is like a challenge for you. Maybe it's 6 minute pace, whatever it is. And when you just think about, somebody developing on the bike, over time they get exposed to these different data points and you could still follow it off of RPE or off of heart rate. But the same way that you're talking about run pace being like, okay, well, that's the target. Like, let's go hit that. It's the exact same way that at least I experienced the power transfer with bike rides.
It's easy to slack on the bike for sure, especially on the trainer.
Yeah, the power is a
Once
great way to hold you accountable. What do I have some of your plan is loaded up through the remainder of the build. Are there any key sessions? I know we have you going for the Ironman swim distance. I think we have like a very long outdoor ride. What are the things that you're like looking up ahead of like that's one of the key moments of this build that will really give me a lot of confidence towards the Ironman?
those 2 are big ones, definitely the Ironman swim, the 5 by 1,000. I think
Yeah.
that's later this week. Uh, the Century ride, I think, is in, like, 2 weeks. I took off a day of work for that just to knock it out while the kids
That's a
are
huge
taken
hack.
care
Shout
of.
out. I think Dalton's in here. Dalton's on that same. Dalton might be the guy that initiated that idea with his first 70.3 build. But if you're a guy who's got, a corporate job and you got a bunch of young kids running around, like and you do most of your training on Zwift, right?
Yep.
If that's like your general setup, nothing wrong with that. But realistically, the Saturday 100-mile ride, fitting that in might be a bigger challenge than just taking a day off work.
Yeah, you can't start 2 hours before the sunset outdoors or before the
No.
sunrise. So
No, no, and that's one of your big hacks. You're like a 4 or 5 AM guy.
when
Um,
needed, yeah.
yeah. No, that's great though. That's great. Anything anything else clicking through your build that you wanna share on?
The big brick workouts have been awesome. Like, this weekend, I just knocked out,
I've had you doing
well
longer bricks, right? 8, 7 or 8
yeah.
miles?
Yeah, this weekend was a 3-hour ride followed by 8-mile brick.
And that
Um,
was a hard 3-hour ride, right?
yes.
So that
Yeah.
philosophy there on some of the coaching stuff is a little bit of just like it's like, hey, on one sense, we have like the progression of the intervals that's like to the power number, and you got a specific target, and it's this stair stepper approach of like stressing your system more and more each week in different ways. Then we have a more like almost rugged style workout that's just like, dude, just go hard for 3 hours, see what happens, go hard, and then go figure out how to run 8 miles off the bike, and like that's just going to stress you and test you. So, like, I like being able to play off of both of those approaches where it's, like, scientific and measured and then also just a little, like, badassery.
Yeah, a little bit of the race simulation where you can pull the conditions in and be like, "Oh, alright, I can see how to get through mile 4 on this, and my fueling on point, my under, over, all that." But a
Yeah.
great stress test for it.
Yeah. Love it, love it. Well, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining.
Sweet, thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll get Blaine. Blaine, I'm gonna send you an invite here to join the stream. So, Blaine here is I'm gonna give Blaine the nod. He's leading the charge on the bike we'll say bike ultra vibe inside a tribal. More just specific adventure style bike races. Blaine had signed up for the Triple Bypass, which is a 120-mile cycling event out here in Colorado. It's like a bucket list event, one of the most notable bike events across the whole country. And that encouraged me to jump in on it with him. He's got the hat on here. Let's go.
Oh, I do.
And we were pretty much all about that vibe right away. And so then we signed up for the Copper Triangle. It did not work out for my family situation for me to get out there to the mountains to go do it this weekend. But Blaine led a group of younger tribal athletes, Austin and Peyton, to do Copper Triangle, which was like 80 miles. You're going over like 3 mountain passes. So, Blaine, let's just get a pulse check on the tribal bike event vibe, and you lead in the charge there. How are you feeling about it?
I think it's the newest thing and it's the coolest thing. And it's a
What do
ton
you
of
like about
fun.
it?
I like how you can go several hours and not feel the way you do in an ultra, just destroyed.
4
Specifically
hours
out
in, you're not,
here,
like, fucking dying?
yeah, going down a mountain is just unmatched,
Yeah.
especially when you work 2, 3 hours to go up a mountain. It's just like you feel instantly rewarded. I can't think of a race that has the same thing. Like an Ironman doesn't have that, an ultra doesn't really have that, but bike racing does. Or bike ultras do.
What was different about this event than the copper or than the, triple bypass that I did with you? Like, what did the copper triangle have
Yeah,
in store?
so we kind of took a different route, right from Copper Mountain. Instead of going up Vail Pass, we kind of do a big circle and hit Vail Pass coming the other way.
So you gotta go down
Um,
the thing that we went up?
yeah, which is kind of devious because at least for it wasn't for me, but for everyone else, it's like it's a pretty mild ride up till 65, and then it's like, oh, here's Vail Pass. Go do 2,500 feet for the next 5 miles. You're like, oh, nice, thank you. Um, but yeah, it was just cool doing it in reverse a little bit.
How did
Definitely
give us a
challenge.
sense of, like, because the only context that most people have for the bike is, like, 70.3 or Ironman.
Yeah.
And then the ultra, I think majority of people here or within tribal, right? They know the 50-mile ultra kind of vibe. Like, where does the bike, even thinking about like the race morning and like the morning prep and like just how you start the event, like what's the crossover there?
It's way more casual. So the two I've done have been here's a window. You start in that window from 6 to 8 a.m.
So it's just a rolling 2 hour start. You can
Rolling
start whenever
start.
you want.
Whenever you want. There's no swim shoot. There's no, I mean, there might be some nerves depending on who you are, but for the most part, you're prepping your bike, you go when you want. Um,
Which
I
is
don't
just
think
the
people are
more or less
racing.
similar to like you're just doing a ride out of your house.
Yeah, it's the same deal. I imagine there are people who are trying to PR their time last year. But for me, it's just like, let's just enjoy the day.
Yeah.
I pay this ticket. I'm gonna get everything I can out of it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop at the aid stations. I'm gonna eat all the food, we get all the water, talk to people, have a good time. So it's super casual.
And then I would say that the fun element that I enjoy, I mean, you were mentioning going downhill, right? In like an ultra, I mean, there's parts of the back half when it's hard that like, it's fun in different ways, but like it's generally becoming harder the whole time. And what I really enjoyed about the triple bypass is like, yeah, you climb for 2 or 3 hours, but then like you're bombing freaking 40, 40 miles an hour for like 15 straight
Yeah,
miles.
and it's fun.
And it's
You're like, it's
fun, and it's
relaxed.
like at least the triple bypass, they had the roads closed, and so, like, it was safe, and you're just out in the mountains, and it's just super open. That was how I felt.
Unless you're like me and get a flat on the downhill and have
Yeah.
to sit there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But no, it that part's so much fun because you get to flex your technique a little bit more than just
Mm.
your fitness.
Yeah.
So that was cool about Copper Mountain or Copper Triangle was that kind of windy path we came up Vail Pass on. You get a good descent and it's only like 3 or 4 miles, but it's a trail. So like if you're a
It's like
mountain
it was like a
biker,
bike path, right? That's that
it's a
part?
bike path. It's
Yeah.
like maybe
So you
like
came into
5 feet
Copper that
wide.
went right past the Airbnb we had?
That was the finish line. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
okay.
it
But you
was
that was
Copper
the way
Mountain
that
was the
you
finish
came
line.
in, that's what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. But that part was really cool because, like, if you're a mountain biker, you just kinda like the swerving and, like, just different angles and you're hitting, and that's the same thing. You're just going 25
You're
plus.
just always engaged. It's like almost the
Yeah,
idea of like trail running versus road running in a sense, where it's like there's always something to do, whether it's like to turn the bike or maybe touch the brakes or like
yeah,
get a little bit more aero or like carve into the turn. And so there's a lot of technical skill that you can deploy.
yeah, like, I wasn't even on the pedals, like, I was for fun because it's the last 4 or 5 miles of the race, and I saw people who were not going fast. I'm like, "I'm smoking past you, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of the way." And then I'm
Yeah.
holding my brake, hitting the turn because it's like a 90-degree turn. I'm like, "Oh, crap. I'm gonna eat it here."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that part was just so much fun.
It is fun
You
when
don't
you
see it
just,
anywhere
like, are
else.
going downhill and you see somebody and you're just like, "I'm just gonna pick you off."
Yeah. Get out of the way.
And fly by you.
They're just
And
on
then
the
sometimes
brake.
that'll happen, somebody will fly by me, and I'm like, "Dude, that guy is going 50
Dude,
miles an hour." Like, I do not have that skill right now on the bike. I'm not that comfortable.
that I think I've unlocked how to go 50 miles an hour, and I have not done it, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
There was this dude on his road bike just standing up, and he was, like, laying over his handlebars, like, he
Yeah.
was, like I didn't know that yoga position, but he was pretty much in it on the bike, just flying past everybody. But, yeah, he was going at least 50. It was crazy.
No, that's legit, and I would say that this is a big tribal philosophy, is continue to expose yourself to new events across new distances, across new sport styles. We haven't really done these, and this is like these are not about an absolute, perfect time or best effort, from a speed sense. It's more just about like doing it, but then even within doing it, like there's still tons of speed, still lots of skill being unlocked. So yeah, this is big time. I'm excited. I feel like next year out in Colorado, we got to have a couple more tribal guys come out and do this. Shout out to BMAC who did triple bypass. BMAC did BMAC did not train for triple bypass. He did not train. He lives in Philadelphia at sea level or something like that, maybe 200 feet. And I think he went up the biggest hill. I know the biggest hill in my hometown. BMAC's my uncle. And I'm like, you got to go up and down that like just a shit ton, like just to
Yeah.
keep doing it.
How tall is it?
Oh my goodness, dude! I don't know, a couple hundred feet maybe. It's like a neighbor. It's like kind of like a there's this area called Valley Forge Park that's like kind of I mean, it's small scale mountains, but it's what you'd consider like the mountain area near us. And like it's still like a neighborhood. It's like a big hill. And so it just like has, there's a street that turns onto it and then there's a street that turns off of it and just a hill that goes up. But he did it off of basically no training. And so as long but he is like fit. No real big bike elevation training though, I would say. He's fit, he plays hockey. And he's capable, and so he came out and banged that out. And then we had the other two guys. The other two guys did pretty well on the Copper Triangle.
Heck yeah. Yeah, they crushed it. It was
Yeah,
so much fun to watch and, like,
and
just
that was their
find
longest
their
rides ever. That was
time.
80 miles.
Longest ride, biggest climbs each,
Yeah,
and they seem to be pretty fresh at the end, so I was happy for them.
that's big time. That's big time. All right. Well, thanks for joining. I got Blair is coming into the queue here. So Blaine, we'll see ya. Peace.
Later.
If we got Blair inside the chat here, I wanted to talk to Blair a little bit. We got a couple guys. We got probably about 15-ish guys inside of Tribal that are building towards Prairie on Fire Backyard Ultra, and Blair is one of the guys that he's been setting like run PRs. I think he ran 25 miles a week for the past 2 weeks leading into this, which is the most that he has ever run, which is pretty sweet. Hey, there he is, Blair. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm
How you
good,
doing?
man. I wanted to jump into some of the Prairie group,
Yeah,
and it stuck out to me that you just did 25 miles a week as peak run weeks. I don't think you'd ever hit 25, and then you had never hit 25 back to back, obviously.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
first
and you're
time
banging
ever.
out like 15-mile runs. Long runs been 15 miles, and then it's been like what 2 to 3 other runs a week that are 3 to 5 ish.
Yes, essentially, probably 4. Well, I guess in the past few weeks, it's been 4 to 5 days of running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 25-mile weeks has been a nice threshold.
What's
As
been the
far
difference between 15-mile weeks and 25-mile weeks?
I'd say the consistency. Historically,
Just
before
running more often throughout the week.
yes, yeah, because I think when I did the previous 70.3 builds, I might have only run 2, 3 times a week. But
Yeah.
when you layer in another 2 to 3 from there, right, it adds up for
It's up
sure.
30%, 30
Yeah,
to 50%.
and now the longer runs are starting to become double digits, so once you do that, all comes through.
Yeah, I love it. How's your mindset? What are you thinking about in terms of how are you thinking about Prairie right now?
One loop at a time, honestly. This would be my first ultra ever, my first backyard ultra as well, so I don't know how many people do their first ultras as backyards, but that shall be me, so I'm gonna try not to think about, the mileage that will be tacked on, but ultimately, my goal there's gonna be a lot of travel guys doing it, so I'm pumped
Yeah.
about that. A lot of people I'll meet for the first time as well. But really, I'm just gonna try to have one solid conversation every loop
Nice.
with someone new. That'll be my call. So hopefully, when I'm in the pain cave and dying at whatever loop it is, someone's gonna want to have a conversation with me, and I'm gonna crawl the line and see if I could do another one.
I am so much more confident in an athlete when I hear them say that rather than them saying their exact pacing strategy and their exact, I'm going to come in at 48 minutes every time and then I'm going to have this bowl of rice and these cucumbers and this iced tea or whatever the hell they're putting together.
Yeah, I've already thought about how many loops I can do continuously with no stoppages. Basically, it's coming in probably towards the end of like
Just run continuously close to 59 minutes.
yeah. I'm just envisioning doing that a couple times.
Yeah. No, that's solid. We got a good segue though, because you are one of the team captains here.
Right.
For the we just launched the first it's basically the first tribal race, not the first tribal team race. We got the first tribal race going on inside of our team, and we basically have Team Axe and Team Arrow, and this is the Tribal 200, and it is a complete race, one athlete per day at a time, and it's to see which team can reach 200 miles fastest. The idea is you got one athlete and he can log as many miles as he wants in a day across run, walk, hike, doesn't really matter. But the next day has to be more mileage. So if you go 10.00 on day one, the next day has to be 10.01 or longer. What is some of the I've seen you got some good leadership and some good strategy being deployed. What is your thought process around the Tribal 200?
I don't want to give away too many of my secrets here, Ryan.
Okay,
Although I know
that's
you're on my
fair.
chat, so I was about to kick you out of our chat here. You're on the other team. Let's go. Shoot, man. I'm sure you'll be objective. Anyways, you know, the strategy really is ultimately, hey, scheduling. Um, can't have someone miss because when we have a miss, then it kind of messes things up. You have to do double the volume the next day, and two different people have to do it, right? So it's really a scheduling thing. It's going to start on Thursday, so a lot of the folks can do some big weekend efforts with people that have tighter weekday schedules. So the people that kind of work from home or have more flexing will be doing their regular efforts during the week. It's kind of what we're thinking about doing now.
Yep.
But we laid out 4 or 5 different plans, and so we're kind of gonna pick it off to how we can best do it. But it'll be a surprise.
Oh, we got captain of Team Axe here. Let's
Oh
go.
man,
We got Zach Smith in the building.
dude, great beard.
What's that?
He's got a great beard going on right now.
This is an intimidation factor.
Oh, just giving him props.
Zach, you're the captain of Team Axe. We have a Maple Boost batch day going on inside a Maple Boost HQ here, and there needed to be some significant cleanup. So I've not been looking at what the conversation in the chat has been lately. What is the strategy? What is the mindset? What is the vision as you're leading a group of 8 here to see if we can conquer 200 miles as fast as possible?
Oh man, I go back and forth between like slow and steady, and let's just knock it out in 8 days. Everyone do 25 miles a day,
Oh, oh,
which we'll land in between somewhere. I'll leave that up to a little bit of mystery so we can. But no, I think one it's just fun. It's fun to see where because people really do step up, but two, it's like it's a challenge. So let's make it hard. So win or lose, like when we get done, we're like, yeah, we blew that out of the water versus staying in our comfort zone. So I'm going to kind of see what the team feels, but I'm hoping we can push pretty far out of our comfort zone and put up some big miles because it is a challenge.
yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, I would say, I like to push people, and I like to give people an opportunity to rise up. But even just the conversations that I've seen so far, it's kind of funny. I was not expecting the ambition, and I love it. One of the things that you though mentioned, Blair, and I think this is like just so important about why we do these tribal challenges is that it is about putting out an effort that probably gets you out of your comfort zone, but I just love seeing guys get to strategize together, and I love seeing guys get to set a plan and how do we want to think about this, and what's an angle that we can take, and the communication that gets leveled up, and the scheduling and the planning. Because when I think about the real skills that allow this stuff, this endurance lifestyle to stick year over year, if you're not communicating about it with the people around you, if you're not strategizing on how you can get a win and sneak out some leverage, And if you're not planning stuff, well, then, nothing's really going down. So that's a little bit of the vision around what we have going on. And I'm very excited for the prizes too. We got some sick brands that have hooked us up with some really quality gear. So I'd like to get that in my repertoire. With that, though, appreciate you guys, and we will see how this unfolds.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you.
Peace.
It'll be fun.
Boom. Boom. Cool. All right. Well, that's what we got going on inside of Tribal this week. Pretty much, we're kicking off the Tribal 200. That will start on Thursday. We've also got some cool things going on inside of Tribal University. Tribal University is basically the relaunch of the Tribal school community. If you are not currently part of the Tribal team, there's some relatively easy access to get involved in what's going on over there. And we have something new that is launching this month called Chiefs Orders. I'm really excited about this. Chiefs Orders is basically 4 challenges for you to complete within the month. One of them is an endurance workout. One of them is a strength workout. One of them is a capacity check. And then there is also a 4th bonus thing that's something to listen to that can just stretch your mindset, help you develop. And the reason that I wanted to start introducing this is number one, kind of lower the bar, raise the execution strategy on the philosophy of team challenges. But also, like, hey, we have some guys that I've seen within the team as I've been coaching the past 6 years or so, where it's like, if you aren't within either a race prep or a specific speed block of training, it can be kind of easy to just let your training get kind of slow and sloppy. And the idea of the endurance workout is that it's going to be an interval workout that is either going to, push the pace, or it might develop a little bit of skill, something to just teach you a little bit about how to freaking run fast or ride your bike better or do something that's just different than, hey, go run for 30 minutes. And the idea of the strength workout as well is that guys are always telling me they want to be doing more strength. And it's like, hey, man, some guys might not have done any strength in the month of July. But now all of a sudden we got this August challenge, and it's like, there's one strength workout, dude. Like, go put yourself through that 15-minute strength workout. And that might either increase your strength frequency, it might expose you to a new workout that you might like. It might just challenge you and give you a chance to rise up to some adversity and punch through and get a win. The idea of the capacity check is kind of similar to what I mentioned on the endurance workout. This month's is a 5K progressive run. So each mile just gets like 30 seconds faster than the last. Not even necessarily building towards all out, but more just like giving somebody the chance to exercise some pace change. And same philosophy that we just spoke on there with the Tribal 200 of like, set an intention, plan it out, and go execute, and make sure that you're staying sharp. Because as we kind of touched on with Blaine and the ideas of the, doing different types of events, doing new events, I like to sprinkle this stuff in all year round. And so you don't need to be in like this dialed, oh, I'm either like training for a 70.3 or I'm just like kind of falling off. Like, I kind of prefer to be staying sharp year round so that you can jump into any kind of challenge that can pop up or anything that seems exciting and fun. So those are a couple of new things that are going on inside of Tribal. This week, Chiefs Orders, that is inside of the new school community. One other thing that I'll mention, I'll finish with this inside of the school community. So with this launch of Tribal Sports Radio, inside of that school community, if you go to the classroom, you can go to the Tribal Sports Radio section, and I have organized all the past team podcasts. So I kind of broke them into season 1 and season 2 of Tribal Cafe. Like, those are the mindset conversations that we've had in the team over the past couple of years. And guys consistently say that going back to those and listening to them is really valuable. And so those are now really, really easy for you to access. Same with any of our past team races where we did like, either it was like a podcast series on building towards a 70.3 or a podcast series like building towards an Ironman or coming off of a team race. We have a bunch of athlete interviews in there as well. So I'd really encourage you to go check that out. And with that, we will close down Tribal Sports Radio for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for the guests. And I will see you guys all next time. Let's go.